Hello and welcome to this edition of Akashic Portal Weekly. We're looking at the week of July 26th through August 1st, 2021. We are moving from a 7th month to an 8th month. So very powerful. We are in the energy of what they call the Lion's Gate. So opening the portal to the strength of who we are. So tapping into that strength and expansion, the courage, the focus, the fire that helps us to take the path we're here to take. I'm your host, Jen Deshen of jendeshen.com, and I am using the Illuminating Journey cards that I created with the guidance of the Akashic Records. So I have asked the cards, what do we need to know for this week? We have just passed a massive full moon, 1 degree of Aquarius. So we're in the fire belly of freedom. Whatever that means to you, what are you willing to do, to give, to become? If you're talking about truly being free to do what, to become what, to express what. Let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, so the first card is the 32. Interesting, this card has not shown up here in a reading for a while. And what strikes me, the first thing that strikes me is this. 32, which is a 5. We are still in a 5-year, and that is about freedom. And it is about expressing the power of who we are, the voice of who we are, showing up to be in alignment with the true energy of what we're here to be, the purity of our soul expressed through our body. What this card indicates to me is that we're moving through the gateway. So we're in this energy of maybe pause, contemplation. Who am I? What do I want to become? Where am I going with this opportunity? Because that's what this is, right? We're in life for an opportunity to become different, to change, which is, again, the 5 is about change. Changing to and adapting to what is possible. What we really say we want. Is this what we want? And what are we willing to do? And entering the gateway. And what's interesting to me about this gateway is that it is almost like it's coming from a different place than the area around. So even though this part, you don't see the kind of whatever that is, like mountains, land in the distance, you don't see it. You just see the light coming through. These energies or paths here are salts. It's about purification. It's about letting go of old behavior, old knowledge. The thing that's comes to mind is the Bible story of Lot's wife. Sadly, I don't know her name, who turned into a pillar of salt in the story. So because she turned back. And I think, when we look at those kinds of stories, it's very helpful to understand that when we're looking back into what we say we want to leave, it's almost by looking back, we're not ready to leave. And so the pile of salt or the figure of salt is that purification process we need to go through in order to leave behind the things we must leave behind in order to go forward, in order to change, in order to become who we are, right? We can't carry that with us. So we're going through a purification process right now. And this purification process is allowing us to truly embrace the heart of who we are, the voice, the longing maybe that we've carried and wanted to be. Here is our opportunity to take this journey, to be connected to the salt of who we are. We have those expressions, the salt of the earth, the whatever, we use salt for all different types of things to to prepare foods, etc., to cleanse, to clear, to go through the process of elimination. In this picture, we also have what looks like some kind of temple. So through the process, we are going to the temple of something we perhaps worship or want to connect to. The thing with worship is that often that takes us away from our truth, because when we're worshiping something, that means we're giving greater attention or belief to something that is outside of ourselves, as opposed to keeping us aligned. Like when we're connecting to spirit, to the divine, we are saying, I am changing, I'm becoming different, and I need your help, right? Not that I'm putting you up on a pedestal, but I need your help. Can you help me get to this next place? It's about asking. It's about being in that place where I don't know what to do and I need guidance. The reflection of the temple that holds so much energy and wisdom is that this is not a true reflection. It's the deeper levels of where we can go. So it's almost like you can continue the journey by going deeper and deeper into your truth, into who you are, into knowing yourself in a new way, in being inspired through your own willingness to embrace the salt and the movement forward, to discover yourself. So that's very exciting. And I love that that's the first card. The second card is the number 4, and I believe this came up last time. I know it's been coming up for me, so I'm confused if it's come up for all of us or just for me, but the 4, such a powerful number. And when we have a number or a level, it is very direct. There is nothing else to know but the shape of what we're seeing. 4 represents our roots. It represents a square, 4 sides that are equal. It represents the grounding or the systematizing of something new. We are establishing something new, right? After going through this, the portal of purification, of choosing what is truly the thing that we are wanting to integrate into our system to become, we need to bring through the system or the foundation. What will we ritualize? What will we make holy? What will we do? What will we discipline within ourselves? The word discipline, which is connected to disciples, those that we follow, our leaders, the areas we go to get information. I've seen there's been a lot of talk out in the world about expertise. And the reason this talk has been coming up is that so many of us have opinions. And there is these words coming forward right now, these truths that are being spelled out by people, is that just because you have an opinion doesn't make you an expert. So an expert is somebody who's studied a certain topic and worked on it and really knows how to research and go into it and reveal all. And we can be an expert about ourselves, and we can be an expert about the topic or the area, our area or areas we have studied and put time into, etc. But we can't be experts about everything. For instance, about climate change. Like if you haven't studied climatology or whatever all those things are, maybe your opinion about what's happening is not that valuable, right? And so where are we looking for this information, and who are we following? Are we following people who are actually experts, that have studied things, who have tested things and have knowledge of what that means, or we're just following somebody who says they're an expert? So who are we, or what are we disciplined to, right? So this speaks a lot to that energy that is now being required as we expand, as we learn, oh, I am not who I thought I was. I'm going through this gateway. I am going to go through the salt so I can dissolve a lot of my old stories, so I become a better expert or grounded or aligned, systematized to who I am and what I need to become more of who I am, more of the way I want to be, not what I say, because we often say things like, I can't help what I do. This is who I am. And we may believe that, but actually it's been proven by science and by people that that's not true, because you can actually change who you are. It's when you have the desire and the discipline, right? The desire and the discipline to become different, to really bring out the truth of who you are, the expanded way of how you want to be in the world, the liberated being, because you can't be liberated when you're going around saying, I can't help myself. There's no liberation in that. So, number 3, wow. So we are now repeating the number 4 here. So we're going from a 5, the 5 of expressing and knowing ourselves, to the discipline and grounding and establishing that, to truly embracing the power of who we are. So this card speaks to that, the fire within us to become different, to be shaped into something new, and to accept the idea that we are a combination of the past, the future, the present, and what are we making real at this time? And that is super important to understand, that the power lies within us to experience who we are and what we think of in different ways, what we may have worshipped, as I mentioned, that we now know cannot be held in that same way, but it needs to be dissolved or recreated or seen anew and connected with in a new way. So I love that this card combines what we might call the modern, which is like a pyramid on a spaceship, and then we have things, some of the older buildings, the Acropolis, etc., connected to nature, to the stone, to the actual land that changes. And here we are in the swirl of it all. What are we taking in? What are we absorbing? What are we renewing? So there we have it. That's this week's reading. I'm your host, Jen Duchenne of jenduchenne.com and Akashic Swan Guidance. So I'd love to hear what you think. What's coming up for you this week? If you're hearing noise in the background, as one of my neighbors talking, suddenly started talking, so they must be outside. And just so that you know, the droning in the background is somebody's voice, if it's droning, I don't know. And yes, welcome to the end of July and the beginning of August, the opening of our hearts, the melting in of becoming the new self. Likes, comments, appreciated, and of course, subscribes so that you can get the next video immediately. I will see you next week.